Hello, friends. Private Investigator Per at your service. In the often unpredictable world of law enforcement, understanding your rights can be as crucial as the officers knowing the law. Today, we explore a gripping encounter that tests the boundaries of constitutional rights during a routine traffic stop. The initial encounter. On September 3rd, 2014, the scene unfolds unassumingly on a quiet street in the glaring light of a routine afternoon. The camera rolls, capturing the tension of a traffic stop that is anything but ordinary. As the video begins, the passenger, sensing a potential escalation, decides to record the interaction, a decision that transforms this ordinary stop into a pivotal discussion on rights and regulations. From the onset, the dialogue crackles with a mix of casual greetings and underlying tension. The officer approaching the vehicle initiates the conversation with a straightforward,
"How you doing?"
Hey, how are you?
The passenger responds in kind, but quickly shifts the focus, stating,
"Whatever the traffic stop was, it doesn't really matter. I'm not here for that, obviously. Just
in case I started recording, because...
That's fine.
It's clear from his tone and choice of words, calm yet cautious, that he is aware of the situation's gravity. The officer, seemingly unfazed by the camera, lays out the law's demands with clinical precision.
You're obligated when you're in a motor vehicle to present your ID.
When you're driving?
The passenger, however, is not easily convinced, questioning the legal grounds of the request.
When you're in the motor vehicle, yes, like right now.
Can I see what law is that?
The query sets the stage for a deeper exploration of rights versus obligations, as the officer attempts to clarify, but admits,
The law will guide me. I know the law. That's.
So if you know it, how come...
Despite the officer's assurance of his knowledge, the passenger's skepticism is clear. ID and explanation. As the debate heats up, the officer attempts to clarify the situation by explaining the difference in requirements when a vehicle in motion versus when it is stationary. He emphasizes,
Lot, no. But as far as the motor vehicle being operated, yes.
Right.
This response aims to draw a line between different scenarios, suggesting a nuanced understanding of the law that perhaps was not initially apparent. Not satisfied with vague references, the passenger presses for precise legal citations, turning the conversation into a litmus test for the officer's knowledge of the law.
So get the law for me, give me what law it is, and then...
He demands, not just questioning the officer's request, but also probing the depth of his legal expertise. The interaction escalates as the officer instructs the passenger to step out of the vehicle, a request met with immediate resistance. The passenger responds defensively.
I'm not stepping out of the car.
What's that?
I'm not stepping out of the car for my safety.
Citing safety and a desire to maintain what the recording can capture.
For my safety.
For your safety?
For my safety.
What do you think? We're going to beat you?
This refusal marks a significant turn in the encounter, highlighting the passenger's growing distrust and the tension between perceived rights and police directives. Escalation and resistance. The officer, attempting to reassure, questions the passenger's fears.
For my safety.
What do you think? We're going to beat you up?
Yet the response from the passenger is not just a denial, but a declaration of the stakes involved.
No, but once you tell somebody to step out of the car, it's either they're being arrested, you're going to take them in for questioning or something like that.
His words trail off, leaving the implications hanging like a heavy fog. The dialogue continues, each exchange sharpening the focus on the delicate balance between law enforcement procedures and personal liberties. The officer presses further, his tone indicative of routine procedure but caught in the web of the passenger's steadfast resistance. The passenger, meanwhile, layers his refusal with reasons rooted in a protective instinct.
Okay.
If I'm not going to be... I'd rather stay here where this is recording. In case something happens.
Amidst this back and forth, the passenger invokes his constitutional knowledge as a shield.
A lawyer, okay?
No, I told him I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. But I value my rights. I have rights. I know the Constitution. I know what rights I have.
This assertion isn't just a defense, it's a challenge, A verbal sparring that tests the boundaries of what is legal and what feels just. The officer, perhaps sensing the futility of his request, shifts tactics slightly, offering a rationale.
Okay? We don't just arrest people to get out of the car. We just don't tell you to get out for the heck of it, okay?
But the passenger is not satisfied, asserting rights. The conversation turns into a tug-of-war over identity disclosure and legal obligations. The officer's insistence meets a brick wall of resistance as the passenger questions the very foundation of the stop.
But what crimes did I commit?
He didn't.
This simple yet profound question shifts the dynamics, hinting at a broader debate about the balance between law enforcement and civil liberties. In response, the officer attempts to simplify the law's demands, aiming to cut through the tension with legal justifications.
When you're driving?
You have to present your ID.
Yeah, when you're driving.
If you don't have your ID, that's fine, but you gotta give them a name.
Despite these explanations, the passenger remains steadfast, his distrust palpable.
I'm not giving out my name just because. Because you're gonna start, I need your name, I need your date of birth.
As the officer navigates this delicate negotiation, he clarifies.
Committed any, did he?
No one's saying we do it with every single car. Yep.
As far as you getting out of the car.
However, this does little to calm the passenger, who continues to challenge each point.
You're gonna look me up, you're gonna have my address, you're gonna have all the information. Yeah, but what?
Debate heats up as both parties entrench further into their positions. The passenger's skepticism about relinquishing his anonymity without clear justification is evident.
But you're in the car, okay?
Yeah, but I didn't commit a crime. I didn't speak.
We're not saying that you did.
His emphasis on not having violated any law underlines a critical aspect of the discourse on rights, the right to privacy and due process. Legal clarifications and misunderstandings. The officer, intent on resolving the impasse, offers a semblance of legal guidance, attempting to steer the conversation back to procedural norms.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't commit a crime. I didn't speak.
We're not saying that you did. We identify everyone in the car.
You're not
every
listening
single car
to me.
stop.
I am listening.
Okay.
He states, trying to portray the routine nature of the request. This explanation, however, does little to bridge the gap of misunderstanding that has widened between law enforcement and the passenger. The passenger's insistence on a specific law that mandates his compliance while not driving sparks a crucial aspect of this roadside dialogue.
Do you see anybody shooting? Do you see anybody with a bazooka?
So I'm not here to be a debate. That's for court, okay?
All right, so
The officer remarks, trying to redirect the passenger's demand for legal specifics to a more appropriate forum for such disputes. Yet the lack of a direct answer only fuels the passenger's skepticism and his determination to protect what he perceives as his rights under the law. Amidst the back and forth, the passenger evokes a broader constitutional conversation.
You're not disrespectful, okay? But you are breaking the law.
I am.
Okay? The United States Supreme Court.
Challenging the officer's understanding of legal boundaries. His claim is countered subtly by the officer's assurance of the right to conduct such stop.
I am.
Okay? The United States Supreme Court says that we have every right to take you out of this car while we conduct a traffic stop.
Even when
However, the passenger counters this with a personal anecdote, highlighting his long-standing compliance and clean record.
so, yep. I've been here for 31 years, never been arrested, never been in trouble with the police, never been in any kind of trouble, ever.
This interjection serves as a personal testimonial to his character and a subtle rebuke to the implications of the stop. The officer's attempts to clarify the law are met with continued demands for specificity and legal citations.
I try to always keep up with all the laws, the new laws, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, everything.
Why not?
Just so, yep.
Constitutional concerns and citizens' knowledge. The atmosphere remains tense as legal principles and personal beliefs collide on the roadside. The passenger's commitment to asserting his rights is obvious, reinforcing his position.
We have the rights. If you don't use it, you lose it. And that's where it's going in this country already.
You do have.
The officer's responses aim to clarify the legal basis for their actions, yet they often circle back to procedural justifications rather than concrete statutes.
That's where it's going in this country already.
You do have rights, and I understand that. I'm well versed in the in the Constitution.
Yeah, I
He repeats, seemingly trying to reassure the passenger while subtly indicating the evolving nature of the law enforcement practices. As the interaction winds down, the passenger makes a final stand on his commitment to legal education. He makes it pretty clear that he's not just using Google or online lawyers for his information. He says,
yeah, I'm gonna find that out because
You can Google search it.
no, I don't.
as the conversation caps off, the police know that there is nothing specific to what they are saying.
State website. You can look up all the Rhode Island general laws.
Okay. Yeah, I have the phone number for the.
If you do a search on there of obstruction of justice, the entire definition of the statute will come up.
All right.
You'll see that.
And it's gonna say if you're a passenger on a car and you get asked for the ID.
It won't be that specific.
You see?
That comes.
I want to see where it says that.
Comes from case law.
I want to see where it says that exact word. If you get
Soon as they know, there is nothing that can be done. They move away from his window and leave. This roadside debate serves as a perfect reminder of the delicate balance between law enforcement authority and individual rights. How do you feel about the tug of war over rights and responsibilities in the footage? The interplay between asserting one's constitutional protections and understanding the limits of those is a thin line, often as challenging to navigate as it is crucial to understand. Thanks for tuning into Imperfect Criminal with Private Investigator Per. Over and out.